Hello, everybody. It's day 2 here at Kingsmead. We promised you more cricket and more action after 20 overs on day 1. I didn't promise you what kind of action, and you got something very interesting, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, the first takeaway is that I'm willing to concede that Sri Lanka maybe did not get as many runs as they could have.
Just the middle short.
Yeah, 42 was under par for this pitch and for these conditions. I felt I don't want to be too harsh on them, but obviously, that was a pretty shocking display of batting. I think what shocked me most was that it was like I think the one of the definitions for insanity is you do the same thing over and over again and keep getting the same results. And you think that you see a couple of your top order batters play, loose outside the off stump, and you think maybe I should rein it in for 5, 10 overs and knuckle down. But that's not that they went in a different creative direction, and in some ways you've got to admire their ability to stick with even the bad calls. So I mean, yeah, it was over before, you could even clock what was happening. But 42 is the lowest by a huge distance. They smashed their previous lowest test record and smashed the record, the lowest test score on this ground against South Africa. It was just a record-making day for Sri Lanka's batters in the absolute worst way possible. So I mean, that obviously has to be our first segue. But Marco Jansen,
Also a record-breaking day, 41 balls, minus the wides and the no balls to take his 7 wickets. It makes him the bird with the joint fewest deliveries to take 7 wickets. And well, he looks like a different player to me since that conditioning break. He says he feels stronger, perhaps a little bit more consistent. But I think it's the mental aspect. Marco Jansen, despite being so tall and imposing, is actually quite kind of like a self-deprecating guy. And I think he can get really down on confidence. And to me, he looks like he's absolutely flying at the moment. He was moving the ball nicely, not express pace, 130s, late 130s, maybe the odd early 140 ball. But he was making the batters play, which is, I think, the way that he got the results. And yeah, wonderful day for him.
yeah, and the other thing person we should talk about is Temba Bavuma. We talked about him a little bit yesterday, but really carried South Africa through that difficult first innings.
Absolutely. Timber, I think, always has it so rough. He has 50s, 60s, 70s that in another era with another batting lineup would be hundreds. And he's only got 2 test hundreds. Next week, he will celebrate 10 years of playing test cricket. So it doesn't sound great, but actually, even Marco Jansen said that 70 is worth 100. And if you look at the scores, 191 and they're 32, I mean, Temba scored more than Sri Lanka. And maybe if you add 1 or 2 other batters, it's still more than Sri Lanka. So he definitely carried the innings. He's still batting out there. He's got a big job to do on day 3. This wind, I think, is going to go away that we're seeing now, and it's going to become really beautiful for batting. So I think Timber, you never know. Maybe we'll have something else to talk about besides 200s.
And that uppercut for 6, that was an incredible shot. That was one of the funnest shots that I think I've ever seen played on a cricket field, hitting Lahiri Kumar over the slips all the way to the boundary, and got a fantastic photo out of it as well. So it was definitely fun to watch him out there.
Definitely. We'll be back with more action on day 3 here on ESPN Cricinfo.